Alright guys, morning November 2nd, 2023. We're over here in Public Land, Oklahoma. Got the Cedar Ridge e-bike there and the Quiet Cat cart loaded up with their saddle equipment. We're going to be rolling back in here probably close to a mile and a half. We've got a whole lot of antlerless deer up around this piece of property, and really look forward to a great, cool, we got a south to southwest wind throughout the morning, but it's in right around 30 degrees, so I'll produce some pretty good deer movement there and other wildlife there. So we're gonna go ahead and get on the bike there, get back there, and we'll get set up there and take you guys along for a hunt. Alright guys, well, we ended up getting set up. It's actually right about 8 o'clock. This tree was kind of a bear to get in with this saddle, but I ended up really wiping out my hand on one of these big old lacrosse boots. Ended up sliding off of one of them. I slid down, but thankfully I had that lifeline system there to catch my fall there and make sure I didn't really wipe out there. But it's gonna be a gorgeous morning. When we came in here, I put the e-bike right below us here, about 10 yards away, and there was 3 or 4 deer, I think, that were bedded right here to the northeast of me. They kind of came off and ran, but I'm not for sure if they weren't getting chased around, because they kind of circled back around and then went about 30-40 yards from me. So I don't think that I may have got them up or one of them up, but I don't think all of them really knew exactly what were going on. So we're going to sit out through probably mid-morning, maybe even to noon, take a little break, get out of here, and then come right back in here in around this area, if not this same tree in the evening there. So we'll go ahead and get quiet and take you guys along for the hunt. Alright guys, it's shortly after about 9:20, and we've had some pretty good action there. We had that little 6-point, little 7-point come through here about 8:20, and then we had some does move through here. One little yearling that worked her way out, come up through here, and then right in front of me, and then she ended up eating on some leaves. And I think that her mom, the doe there, was out there, and then they worked right up through here. I mean, right underneath my stand, and I mean, we're talking 5-10 yards from me, and I ended up putting my camera down towards where they're at, and then when I was trying to grab my bow and shoot her a quarter in the way, I ended up hitting my release there. Well, it actually hit my release, went off my bow, fell to the ground. So, there that goes. But one thing I tried is I let a mosey on out there 70-80 yards, and then I ended up climbing down out of the saddle. Just took it real nice and slow, got down, and they were just hanging out there, just feeding. Didn't even know I got my release, and then jumped back up in the saddle, and they just kind of fed back through there. So we're gonna stick it out. I think we're in some pretty good deer movement here. It's right at 9:20, 9:30 right now. So it seems like about every hour we're seeing deer. So really looking forward to hopefully seeing a big mature buck. But if we can get a couple does on the ground, I'm not gonna complain too much about that. So we'll continue off the hunt. Alright guys, well, we're sitting here shortly after, or right at 1:30. Got back in here, got a bite to eat, and did a couple other things, and then headed back in here at the Cedar Ridge E-bike. On the way in here, we ended up seeing 2 deer, a small little buck, maybe the one from this morning, and then another doe that busted up here to the north there. Didn't blow or anything, they just got out of here. So I'm hoping the evening's hunt, it's just as productive. Hopefully we get to see a big mature deer. May not even get a shot at him. I'd like to see him out here, but still sitting up here at the Hawk, and Matthew's ready to rock and roll. So I got the release on my wrist now, and we should have a pretty good evening hunt there. So it's going to be southwest wind throughout the remainder of the evening there, 10-12 miles an hour there. So as it dips back into the 50-degree on into tonight, and then it gets a little colder throughout the evening. But we're going to make the best of it here this afternoon, November 2nd. So hopefully we get some action here this evening. Alright guys, it's shortly after 4 o'clock. We got a doe that's potentially going to work her way on down here. May have been the one we've seen this morning, but she's heading down this way, and maybe we'll go ahead and take her out. It's shortly after 4 o'clock. It's been pretty windy, haven't seen any deer movement, but as these deer transition back into the big agriculture fields out here, hopefully we'll get some of them up on their feet and maybe get a shot or two. I got interested in there for us, but she ended up going directly east of me, about 25 yards away, and she just didn't work up this trail system like I had expected. She got about probably 20-30 yards from me, but then she just kind of turned around and moseyed down through here and got down in that ditch area, and then she's heading back over there to the northeast. So I think there's some groves of trees or something along those lines back up in there that those deer feed on. So it's right there at 4:20, so it's pretty early, but those deer up on the feet, all the cellular trail cameras I'm getting there saying the same thing there. So all of a sudden just started kind of coming in once I started seeing that deer. So it seems like things are starting to pick up there. I haven't seen any real big mature deer yet there on trail camera or in person, but we'll keep our fingers crossed here, see what happens the rest of the night. All right, guys, that concludes our hunt. I got the e-bike out here. It's about a mile back in there, and we saw quite a few deer. We didn't see any real big mature deer, but we saw a lot of does. I think we saw 4 or 5 of them, 4 or 5 mature does, and maybe a yearling here this evening there. And you know, it's that time of the year, so it's just going to take that one doe and estrus, pull those bucks in there, and you know, the party's going to start. So hopefully you guys are getting out there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the hunt. Like always, best luck on your guys' upcoming hunt.